What's up guys? Thought I would do a review for Manchester United's game last night against Bodo Glimt. So a very, very good performance for Manchester United. I think we played okay for the most part last night. I mean, there were some players who probably let the side down a little bit yesterday. Bodo Glimt, they were lucky. We were 1-0 up inside the first minute. Bodo Glimt scored 2 goals. We then scored 2 of our own and we win the game, which is what we needed to do. Obviously, we couldn't be losing to a team like Bodo Glimt. If we'd have lost the game to them, it's not good. What we saw with the two goals from Rasmus Højlund. Talk about Amarim Ball. That was Amarim Ball at its finest. That I can say. I think when I look at Ruben Amarim, I think he's somebody that can really get the best out of this squad of players. I think, obviously, he's got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of areas that need a lot of improvement. But I think that given time, I think Ruben Amarim could do a very good job at United. I think he's somebody that could really get Manchester United playing the sort of football that the team should be playing. He's someone that could actually make us get us back to being a decent team. Which is which is where we need to be. We need to be back to being an actual decent quality team. We should get the win against Everton on Sunday. You can't help but be nervous. Everton have gotten back-to-back draws. I think the last 2 times we've actually played Everton at Old Trafford. We've won 2-1, and it could very well be the same scoreline again on Sunday. It could very well be a 2-1 again. I would love if it was. But I think United obviously will be very confident going into that game, obviously coming off that win against Bodo Glimt. I think Amarim, he's someone that there are certain players that I think should go. Anthony needs to go. Luke Shaw, I think, has had his day. I think he needs to go. Casemiro is another player that needs to go. He's not good enough. It's just... to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little bit frustrating that we conceded 2 goals at home to a team like Bodo Glimt. A team that we should have been winning pretty comfortably against. 3-2. It wasn't a bad result. I'm glad that we turned the game around and we won the game. I'm glad that we didn't, kind of fall apart after going 2-1 down. I think, if that had been Erik ten Hag in the game, we probably would have ended up losing about 4 or 5-2. We probably would have lost about 3 or 4-1. Knowing how bad we are. Bodo Glimt would have gotten it, they would have gotten a very good win last night. Erik ten Hag was in the job. But, Ruben, I'm excited, to see what Ruben can do at United, and I hope that he will be given enough time to really do what he can, do at United and really kind of transform the team and make the team something special again. I think, as long as he's given enough time to do that and he's given a fair chance, and he's not just sacked after, 2.5 seasons, which has been the same problem with Erik ten Hag. And, Jose, likes of ten Hag and Solskjaer, Mourinho, they've all not had they've not lasted any more than 3 seasons. None of the and this is the thing, none of the managers that we've actually had since Sir Alex Ferguson have lasted more than 3 seasons in the job. And that is embarrassing to think about the amount of managers we've had, and not one of them has actually managed to last more than 3 years in the job. But it goes to show that there are problems at United. We signed... Obviously, we signed Jose Mourinho in 2016. He was sacked in 2018. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was brought in 2018. He was sacked in 2021, so he was into what was he halfway through his third kind of full season with Manchester United. He just started his third season with us when he was sacked in the, I think it was around about October time of 2021 that he was sacked. Obviously then we've had Erik ten Hag 2 full seasons into his third season with United, which was this season, and he's been sacked. And hopefully the same won't happen again with Ruben Amorim. Hopefully he won't get 2 full seasons, he'll get into the third season, he'll get sacked. You know, Ruben Amorim is someone who is given time and really trying, really get, do well with United. I mean, the problem with I'm not saying that any of the players that Erik ten Hag signed were crap, because I think some of the players he signed were decent. I mean, Xerxes looks okay at times. I'll be interested to see what Lenny Yorick can do in defence. I've been very impressed with Rasmus Højlund. I know that he was a bit kind of hit and miss last season. I mean, he did score quite a few goals. I think he was one of our top scorers last season, but he had a few injury problems, and that's obviously affected him this season as well. He missed, I think it was about 3 or 4, about 5 or 6 weeks of the season due to an injury that he sustained in pre-season. So yeah, it was a bit problematic, but since he's kind of come back from injury, he has been a very solid player. And he's one of those players that is capable of putting in consistently solid performances. Mathis De Ligt, I don't think was a bad signing. I know some United fans might think that we should never have signed Mathis De Ligt, but really, he hasn't been a bad signing. Nusayr Mazraoui, again, consistently good performances. That's what I love about Nusayr Mazraoui, is he really, every single week, every single game, he's putting in consistently good performances. And that is what we expect from those players. We expect them to be putting in consistently good performances. But there are a lot of players who are not able to do that, and are not able to put in consistently good performances. Rashford, he's not been... he's been off. He's not been in. He's not been in it. He's not really been hard. The player that he used to be. He's not been the same player that else behind it up to. Last season was a really strange one. He really struggled. He's been really struggling again this season as well. It's just like, Anthony as well. Why did we ever sign him? What a flop. I was really happy with that game, with the result yesterday of 3-2, and I do think that Ruben Amorim made some good changes last night as well. I think he made some really decent subs. I have to say, Mason Mount, I feel like when Mason Mount came off the bench, I feel like he actually put a good shift in. I don't think he was bad when he came off the bench. I think he was pretty good. Even Tyrell Malacia, for a player that we've not seen for quite some time, I feel like even Tyrell Malacia didn't look too bad last night. I think he looked okay. I think Luke Shaw looked okay. I don't think he looked too bad, in the game last night when he came on. I think he was pretty decent. I think he did pretty right. He was okay. I won't say that he was brilliant when he came on, but I'm not going to say that he shone like the brightest star, but he was okay when he came off the bench. He wasn't awful in to say the least. It took last night's game for the first time in quite a long time. Manchester United felt like they were enjoyable to watch. For me, that's what it felt like. It felt like for the first time in a long time, they were actually enjoyable to watch. The game against Leicester the other week was still pretty good, but obviously in the league when we won 3-0 against them, that was a pretty good result anyway. Another pretty decent performance from Andre Onana. I have to say with Onana, I mean, yeah, last season he was constantly being ridiculed because he was making so many mistakes. Um, and I actually said, I think that, and I was kind of thinking about it, I thought, it's his first season, it's a new league for him to get used to. He's never played in the Premier League before. And when a player has never played in the Premier League before, it's very hard for them to kind of get used to that league. And I think Onana just needed time, and I think he's shown that he just needed time. You look at some of the performances we've seen from Andre Onana this season. Some of the performances we've seen from him this season have been absolutely incredible, and he's really, really put in some brilliant performances when we've needed that the most. He's really made some really superb saves when we've needed him to do that. He's been. I feel like he's been so far this season. He's been way more reliable than he was last season. I feel like we have seen a big improvement with Andre Onana to the player that we saw last season. You know, I feel like this season so far he has proved a lot of people wrong. He's proved a lot of the haters wrong. You know, he seems happier. He seems a lot more confident. His performances are so much better than they were last season. I think Onana, to be honest, I admit last season I was really critical about Onana. I slabbed him off at any opportunity I got. I just didn't like him. I don't know. As far as I was concerned, he was an absolute joke. I didn't understand why United had signed him. Obviously, I don't understand why United ever got rid of David De Gea, but it's one of those things. Like, I mean, we don't know how David De Gea has been playing with Fiorentina in Serie A. He's not been doing too bad with them. But I think with United, I think there's a long way to go. I think I'll be interested to see where we are in the league around, by February, March. As I feel like we could be up there a little bit by February, March. I think we could certainly be closer to top six by then. I don't think it's entirely impossible to get top six. I think that's still achievable. And I think that Ruben Amorim can achieve that. I mean, a sixth place finish to get United back into the top six wouldn't really be too bad for Ruben Amorim in his first, sort of six. Where are we now? November, so December, January, February, March, April, May. So wait, no, December, January, February. 6 months. So it wouldn't be too bad for Ruben Amorim in his first 6 months in charge if he was able to actually get us back into the top six by the end of the season. I mean, imagine if he won the Europa League as well. Like, I feel like we could do that. I feel like we have a chance. If our performances continue to improve, maybe we do stand a chance. I mean, Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham are struggling a little bit, haven't they? Really, it's hard. It's hard to say that Tottenham are favourites, but I think it's the same about us. It's hard to say that we're favourites, but we look like we are. I think, I'm really excited for what the future holds for Manchester United with Ruben Amorim in charge. I feel like I'm more excited about a new manager than I've ever been before. Like, I don't feel like I've ever been this excited about a new manager before than I have been about Ruben Amorim. I really am excited. I think he will do a great job at United. I think he's given time. He looks good, and I think he's someone that we've needed to bring in. I think I think that I feel like United fans have a good reason to be excited about what the future holds. But yeah, I'm really happy with that result yesterday against Bodo Glimt, obviously winning 3-2. An absolutely amazing performance from those players yesterday. Really, really hard work. Really, really hard working, And yeah, let's see what the future holds for Ruben Amorim in charge. Ruben Amorim is United boss. Look, I'm not gonna say that Ruben Amorim will win us the Premier League, next season. I'm saying that it will take time. But I mean, obviously, some people will say, "Oh, well, Ruben Amorim never actually won a title with Sporting," but he's someone that can win. He's somebody that can really get the best out of a lot of players. I mean, I think that he will. I think what we need to do is we need to get rid of a lot of dead weight in the team. There are three signings I think I would make. So, striker wise, I would sign Victor Lloris. I think Victor Lloris would be a good signing. Um, I know we're looking at Wenda as well from Sporting Lisbon. I don't know how good a player he is, but he must be good. I've also seen talks about United potentially going for Aurelien Tchouameni from, I think it's Real Madrid, I think he plays for. I mean, that would be an interesting signing if we went for a player like Aurelien Tchouameni, obviously, it would be interesting if we signed him. I know that we've also been linked with the signing of Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich. Now, I mean, I don't know if we need to really sign a player like Alphonso Davies. I think, Victor Lloris, if we could sign a player like him, that would be unbelievable. But I'm not saying that we will sign him because obviously we need to pay a lot of money. We need to pay a lot of money to run a player like Victor Lloris into the club. But I think that. If necessary, I think United would certainly be willing to pay the necessary amount of money to bring Lloris into the club. But my fear is that, it would be another expensive signing. Like, would it be another expensive signing that would flop? As this is the thing, like we've seen it before. We paid a whopping, we paid a substantial amount of money for Anthony. He flopped. We paid 80 odd million for Pogba, and he's not exactly torn the plate. He didn't exactly do brilliant in his second stint at United. We signed 80 odd million for Harry Maguire, and he's not exactly been he's not exactly been one of the best players we've ever signed. It's just, you always fear that when you sign an expensive player, it could flop. That's always what that fear is. And I think with United, we have had a little bit of, bad history when it comes to signing expensive players. Those expensive signings would end up flopping. But I think Victor Lloris would be different. It would be interesting to see how he would fit in the United team. A player like him or Wenda would be interesting because they played under Ruben Amorim, so it would be interesting for them. But yeah, really happy with that result yesterday for Manchester United. Hopefully this is the start of something really positive at United. Hopefully this is the start of a really kind of positive new era at United with Ruben Amorim in charge. Hopefully, things are going to be getting a lot more positive from here on in. Over the next year or so. Let's see how things are going to go, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for what Ruben Amorim can do at United, and we'll see what happens. Well, thank you for watching this review, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.